I think we're live. Hello, my name is Sandra, and welcome to the channel. If you haven't been here before, the name of the channel is From Lack to Legacy. Over here, we talk all things money, investing, trading. We sprinkle in a little travel, a little lifestyle. Mostly it's girl chat around money, how to become a better investor, how to become a better trader. And if you want to see the world, hey, you're in the right place. So if you are already here, and I think I saw a couple of my sisters already here. Hey Venus. Hey Rita. Hey Rita. Hey Mary Love. Okay, yep, got my phone right here. Got it right here. And I did a little um what's the thing? The router check. So we should be okay. We should be okay. I did a speed test this morning and everything. If you were here for the last live stream, then you already know, child, we were glitching and stuttering and stammering. It was a hot mess. But hopefully today the connection is a little better. I pulled the router down out the cabinet. So I think we're going to be set for the day. How is everybody? Mary Love's still celebrating her birthday month, y'all. We don't care that it's August. Y'all wish my sister some birthday love down in the chat. And if you don't know what the topic is for tonight we're talking about August and September being some of the shakiest months in the stock market. So if you are an investor, if you've been paying attention lately, then maybe your tummy is doing a little flip flop. Because I know mine does. I look at it too. And my tummy, I wonder, I'm like everybody else. I just don't happen to share that the sky is falling kind of philosophy. Yes, the US is in turmoil. Yes, there are geopolitical things that are happening that affect the economy. All of that stuff is happening. And I think it would be foolish to not acknowledge those geopolitical factors. But there's also something else at play that may explain why you might be watching your portfolio go up and down and it looks pretty volatile. And it's called seasonality. This is nothing new. It is nothing new. So if you are looking at your investments or if you're looking to invest, but it feels volatile, it just feels like, girl, why would I throw my money over in that bucket? I'm going to tell you why you shouldn't panic. I'll tell you exactly why I'm not panicking. Hey, Raven. Hey, Courtney. Hey, Mackety Mac. That's my teacher friend. Mac and I go way back, child. Way back, way back, way back. Good to see you, Mac. Hope everything's going well. Um, so, how many people just drop it in the chat? Anybody check their portfolio? First of all, where are y'all watching from? I know where Mac is. Mac is in Chi-Town. If y'all don't mind telling me where y'all watching from, I want to know, are you actively investing? So I kind of know who I'm talking to. If you're an active investor, put active. If you are an active trader, meaning you are trading, you trade in stocks, maybe that's what we talk about primarily. I don't do Forex, I don't do futures. I mean, because baby, you could trade anything. You could trade horses, you could trade candy, you could trade time for money. You could trade anything. Hey, KO. I don't know. KO. I don't know. See, that's a screen name that I don't know the person who's connected to KO. You don't have to tell me in the chat, but hey, Voyager. It's so good to see you guys. So we're going to talk about why our August. Oh, you in Chicago. Well, hey, homie. We're going to talk about tonight why is it that August and September seem to be so volatile? And should you be worried? Should you be, pulling money? Should you be, moving some things around? And I have some definite opinions. So let's start right here. I am not a financial advisor. No, I am a retired teacher who had to figure out money on her own. And when you're figuring out something like that on your own, you make a lot of mistakes. So I made a lot of mistakes so that you don't have to. once I started making these money mistakes and I became aware of it, the next thing is you got to get educated. So I started taking classes. I took my first. Oh, I see we got some active investing, in New York. If you're an active investor, drop it in the chat. If you're not, just say no. I'm currently not in the market, just so I kind of know who's here. So once I figured out that, okay, child, you are not going to be able to make money grow if you don't understand how money works, I started taking classes. I took my first class now, shoot, maybe 4 years ago. And I took a trading class. And once I can't say it no other way. Once I saw they were out here making money, the whites was out here making money, I was like, oh my God, you have got to be kidding. So I got to tell everybody, as soon as I learn something, everybody knows this. I'm a teacher to my heart. I'm a retired teacher. I taught for almost 30 years in Chicago. Child, hardest work I ever did in my life. Hardest work. I don't want anybody to ever have to work that hard because I was working hard, but my money wasn't. If it's okay to work hard, but if you're working hard and your money is working hard, you can breathe a little more. So once I figured out the key was to make my money start working for me, that's when it all clicked. It's like, oh heck, had I known this 20 years ago, child, I would have been. Y'all, I probably wouldn't be on YouTube. I can tell you that. No, I probably would. I would still be trying to teach it because that's the teacher in me. Once you learn something, I want to teach everybody. So I want everybody to partake. So let me say hi to everybody who just came in. I know I said hi to Courtney. Hey, quietly elsewhere. I said hi to Raven. Not before 10. Hey, that's my other Chicago homie. Hey, Sexy L. Hey, I ain't seen Sexy L in a bit. Hey, y'all. Okay. Ooh, say what? This is worth celebrating. Say what? You're retiring in 3 months. And I was so worried, but I'm calming down now. I don't worry when my account balance goes down until it's south of 10%. Yep. And Raven, I would say even then, some fluctuation is to be expected. A pullback could still be within 10%. When you start talking 20%, 25, 30%, now we're talking about market correction. We're talking about crashes. So 10%, I still wouldn't feel too shaky about 10% if you are a long-term investor, meaning you plan to be and leave that money untouched 10, 15, 20 years. I'm a long-term investor and trader, but first of all, I'm an investor. I say this all the time. I think every Black woman should be an investor. I don't think every Black woman should be a trader. Trading carries even more risk than investing. Investing is volatile, but trading, you can get into a lot of trouble if you don't know what you're doing. So I try to teach both. I see we have somebody in Colombia who's an active trader. That's what I'm talking about, y'all. Get that money. Get out here. Make this money because there's money to be made. Wait a minute. I gotta get my tea. How the heck I come to work without my juice? I'm gonna run, grab my tea. Y'all talk amongst yourself. Let me put this in the stream so you all can see what the topic is. August and September and why I'm not panicked. Because I'm not panicked about August and September. Hold tight. Let me go get it. Ooh, and let me show y'all my babies. Wait, I might as well show y'all my babies while we're at it. Hold tight. Did I show y'all my basil plant? She growing like baby. She loves it here in Malaysia. Also picked up a cilantro plant. Look at that. It looked like the Charlie Brown Christmas tree. My cilantro's not doing so well. I don't know what to do about it either. Anybody know how to grow cilantro? Because I sure don't. It's clear I don't know what I'm doing. But the basil is coming along. I use that regularly. I make my pesto, put it in my dress, and throw it in my sauces and everything. Hey, Dr. Donna, art advisor, appraiser. Dr. Donna and I used to be in Kathy Hampton's. I think, Donna, did you do Kathy's journaling class or her journaling live stream. I think so. Hey, Lisa, I haven't seen you in forever. Hey, Lisa J. Stocks. An opportunity awaits. Hey, everybody. These are all my girlies that talk money. Yeah, I had to get my tea. And so let me tell y'all, today I'm having peppermint tea. I found this. This is the company. This BOO. Can y'all see that? I don't know. Where did I put it? I think it's reversed. But anyway, it's BOH. They make the best tea. Okay. All right, yes. Don't forget, like, subscribe, share the channel. We might as well get into it, y'all. So I'm gonna share a little data with you because, of course, the teacher in me, in order to do this live stream, don't y'all think that I just roll out of bed and do a live stream? I do not. I have to prep. I have to research. Y'all know I have anxiety, and so the more prepared I am, the less anxious I am. So if you see me reading my notes, it's because I want to get these statistics absolutely right. I want you to understand why August and September look the way they do. And right before we go any further, I'm going to tell you a part of it has to do with seasonality, meaning that this is something that happens in the market year after year after year. If you're not sure or you're not aware what seasonality means, if you are a stock investor, you will notice that certain times of the year, certain sectors do better than others, and you can almost track it. Yes. And so August and September are no different, but the only difference is these are generally down months. So September's average return since 1950 is usually September generally finishes negative in negative territory, the market's most feared month. So let me get over here. I'm gonna read my notes real quick because I want y'all to get this straight. It says, since 1928, September is the only month with a consistently negative average return for the S&P 500. It closes in negative territory roughly 52 to 55% of the time. It's a bit worse than a coin flip, but it's not a guaranteed collapse. So if anybody is looking at this, maybe you're new to investing and you're like, oh my goodness, August and September, my portfolio is down a bit. Don't panic. August is historically the third worst month, averaging flat to negative half a percentage. So August and September typically over the last since 1928, September in particular finishes in negative territory half of the time. So we're coming up on it, and I don't want you guys to be worried about that. I don't want you to panic sell. That's the worst thing that you can do is panic sell. Most of us, if you haven't heard, I've said this 1,000 times before, when the market pulls back, when there's a pullback, that's a buying opportunity. But for new investors, it can cause you some intrepidation. You might be thinking, oh Lord, I can't afford to lose. Don't worry, I'm not going to say you can't lose. Of course, all investing has inherent risk, but relax. I'm sure you've heard that. If you've ever heard it, anybody here ever heard that September is the worst month? Am I delivering news to y'all? If you've heard that before, just raise your hand. Drop a hand in the chat if you already heard that. But September, yes, historically finishes in negative territory. If you are new or if you're interested in learning more about how to become a better investor and a better trader, book yourself a financial Kickstarter. Girl, what you doing with your life? This is what we do over here. We have a financial literacy learning community that meets twice a month. We meet every second and every fourth Wednesday of the month. And it's just the Black girls that you see in here talking about money. I think we do two things. A big part for me is education. So of course we are educating one another because it's a learning community. I happen to host it. I'm not the only one in there with financial literacy knowledge. I'm not the only investor in there. I'm certainly not even the best trader in our group. And so you get the benefit of all of these women who have experience. And I'm telling y'all, Venus be sitting quietly in class, y'all. Venus knows a lot about money and investing. She don't like to say it, but I'm putting my sister on the spot because she does. And then Sandra is these black women are so modest. Sandra will back up like the girl knows how to trade. So now if you're interested in learning and you're not sure where to start, book your Kickstarter. And I'm gonna just give it to you because we don't gatekeep around here. Girl, the Kickstarter only $99. $99 will get you straight. We'll figure out if you need to open up a brokerage account, if you already got one open, and then you can join the community. The reality, August averages pretty flat since 1950, basically flat. It's not a crash, but you're not going to see, and none of these are definites, you all. These are historical trends. Slightly positive. August will end slightly positive, but most people, August and September, those are not going to be banner months. Anything can happen, but historically that's not the case. And let me see. I got some notes over here about that too. So why does this happen? Okay. Number one, why is the underperformance happening around this time of year? You all do know that institutional Wall Street traders, they take vacations, right? These are the big boys, the big brokerage houses. Them people got money. It's summertime. They out yachting somewhere. I'm watching my portfolio every day, child, like my life depend on it. Those people around this time of year, kids are either wrapping up summer vacations, their kids are going off to college, all kinds of things. And so you'll see lower volume just in trades, period. And when you have smaller trading volume, you'll see that can impact stock prices as well. So you've got thin liquidity, meaning Wall Street, big investors, big institutional brokerage houses, they aren't as active in the market. And you'll notice that with volume. And so you'll see thin liquidity. Institutions are also rebalancing their books and they're doing some physical year-end kind of movement. September marks the end of quarter three and the physical year-end for many mutual funds. Managers start to trim losing positions and rebalance allocations, creating structural selling pressure. August isn't famous for crashes, it's famous for thin trading. When institutional volume drops, the market gets a little twitchy, but twitchy it's not a catastrophe. The market hates uncertainty. And so whenever anything is uncertain, you're going to feel it in the stock market. Also, y'all know what's happening in the White House. We have some geopolitical things that are going on. And again, the market hates uncertainty. So with all those things that are going on, you can kind of see you've got some trends that happen quite naturally with seasonality, but there's some other factors that kind of attribute or contribute to why you might see this kind of volatility in August and September, particularly this year. Anybody got AI stocks? I do. And I'm sure everybody has heard that AI money is people are rotating money out of AI. I understand that because, it's such a heavy concentration. AI is so heavily concentrated in the S&P 500. When that money starts to move, when people start to move money out of AI stocks and out of tech stocks, when you see that sharp rotation, you're going to see it in the S&P, of course. And then we've got midterm elections coming up in November. Did you all know all 435 House seats and 33, I think it's 33 or 35 Senate seats are up in November? And midterm years historically see an average intra-year pullback of 17 to 19% because of uncertainty. When you got uncertain political times, people start pulling their money and putting it into safer investments. So you'll see all of this stuff start to show up around this time. We're talking August, September, but have no fear because generally we rally back. This time, because we've got midterm elections happening in November, I would still keep my eye out, but I still would not be in panic mode. Let's see. Hey, Maria. Hey, anybody else who joined the stream? Okay. So here's the deal. Because I'm aware of seasonality, because I understand, that we've got some geopolitical things going on in the world that impact the stock market, it makes it easier for me to understand. It's not like, the sky is falling. I'm going to tell you this. I get this phone call all the time and it just breaks my heart. I've seen it over and over and over again. There's market uncertainty. Your portfolio takes a little bit of a dip. And I'm talking about even 10 to 15% doesn't move me. To be honest with you all, I've been down more than that. I've been down 20%. I've Wait a minute. I've probably lived through a 30% dip. I still don't move my money because one thing about it, the market generally recovers. And I always say generally, I'm careful. I don't ever want to speak in absolutes like it always, but historically, it has. It has recovered every time. It has recovered every time. And I want to share something else with you all too. Here's a reality check. This is, it's not the law. It's a trend. It's what has happened in the past. So we talked about this: 35 positive Septembers, 41 negative Septembers. That's not a big deal. Again, this is my little slide, y'all. If you don't understand any of this, if it's like, Sandra, what are you talking about? Oh my God, this is above my head. It really isn't. Join us. The 1000 Black Women Brokerage Account Challenge is our bi-weekly study session. It's real accountability, y'all. It's really us talking about this stuff. We got an hour here at best. We got an hour, maybe 90 minutes. But we talk about this stuff all year long. So the women in the community aren't panicking. We're not panic selling. That's what I was going to say. I have heard this time and time and time again, and I've seen it happen where this kind of dip, this kind of pullback happens, or you see money rotating out, like you see money rotating out of tech and AI, and people start to think, oh my God, this is it. This is the fall. This is the great fall. No, I promise you. I want to share something else with you all as well. If you haven't, and we'll talk about the long game, I might as well since it's up. The S&P 500 usually averages about 8%, and that's been the average return since 1950, with the dips included. That's even with the bad months, the good months, the bad months. Over time, and I think it's somewhere between 8 and 12% because you can have some really good years in there. So over time, you're going to average about 8%, 8 to 12% on your money. So investing is a long game. Trading is short term. Now, if you're trying to make some money, you just getting in, you bopping in and out, that's trading. That's how you can create and generate income. But we're talking about long-term investors, folks that have that money in good companies, solid ETFs, proven equities. And we're talking about we're leaving that money 10, 15, 20 years. I don't know about y'all. I share my age all the time. I'm 60. I plan to be here till 100. I got 40 more years to invest my money. I don't care what anybody say. I'm out here touching my toes and drinking herbal tea and doing the things because I plan to be here. I plan to be here a while. And so most of us plan to be here. So hopefully you are definitely investing. If you're not investing, please join us. I want to encourage you. You want to make your money work for you. Some of us have a desire to retire early. Maybe we want to put our kids through college so that they don't have to borrow money. Some of us want to move abroad, whatever your dream is. If you are currently earning money or if you have a lump sum of money, I would encourage you, educate yourself. Get educated. How can you make that money work? Don't be like me. I share my own story. I share my own money trauma so that you, one, will understand you're not alone, that somebody else has done it and recovered. But I don't want you to make the same mistakes. I tell everybody I sold my house. I never saw that much money in my life in a check with my name on it. And because I was fearful and unknowledgeable, I did not know. I let that money sit in a bank. The bank should have been ashamed. I let that money sit in a bank and it didn't earn a nickel. Sit with that. So you can't talk to me about financial shame, trauma, or any other child. I have done it all. But when I started taking these trading and investing classes, I was like, wait a minute, I can you mean to tell me I can make money in my pajamas like Jared too? Yes, we can. You can make money in your pajamas too. Absolutely. Let me see who came in. Hey Zaza. Hey Karen D. Has anyone? Hi everyone. I worked on Wall Street as a high school senior. Let me put this comment up. Can I get it up? Yep. Yep. I'm telling you, we lived through, not us personally, but we've seen the market go through a depression. We have seen cycles of recession. We have seen Black Monday. We have seen the housing market crash, that bubble pop. We've seen the internet, all of it. And when I tell you the market will recover, you just have to have time. Now, I will say this, you should understand your own risk tolerance. If you know that a 10% pullback in your portfolio is going to have you, up at night with hot sweats, you know, then you may want to consider some investments that aren't as exposed to as much volatility as the stock market. You might want to look at bonds, bond laddering, CDs. There are a plethora of other things you can do. Hell, you could buy gold. There are other things you can do to invest so that your money is making money. You may not see the same return that you would see in the stock market, but I certainly say this, please, nobody should ever just have their money sitting in a checking account or a savings account and it's not earning something. I talk about this all the time. We talk about this in our community. If you are investing with Fidelity, they have a money market that's attached to their cash management account for uninvested cash. It doesn't earn a lot, but it's better than nothing. They have SPAX, that's their money market. And they have a couple of vehicles that you can use. I think the last I checked, it was somewhere between 3%. It's not quite 4%. You could use a high yield savings account. Anything is better than what I did. Bank of America should be shocked. Can you say that on the internet? I don't know. Anyway, somebody should have gotten their hands slapped for not even suggesting to me, ma'am, don't let this money just sit here. Let us, give you some financial advice. None of that came. Hey, Nichelle. Hey. Listen. So if your money isn't invested, get invested. Get investing. If you don't know where to start, book a time. We're here. We ain't got nothing else to do. I was going to tell you this. Another reason I'm not worried, I'm going to give you two things. If you haven't read the book, it's called The Changing World Order by Ray Dalio. If you're not a reader like me, the way my ADHD is set up, there's a beautiful video on YouTube. There are two. One is 20 minutes, one is 40 minutes. And The Changing World Order talks about the macro picture, financial picture. It talks about how every great empire, every great world power has kind of gone through this cycle of where they're the financial power and then they fall out of favor. And then another superpower or another country takes over and they become the leading world power and financial power. It has happened to the Romans. At one time, that was where all the wealth was concentrated. It happened to the Dutch. At one time, they started stock markets. Wealth was concentrated there. And then the U.S. I think Great Britain in there, maybe in between the Dutch. It was Great Britain. They were a world power and economic force, and then the U.S. And you will see. So I'm not denying that things are changing. I am here to simply help you put into perspective why you should not be running around like Chicken Little, like the sky is falling. Yes, it is true. If you watch that video, The Changing World Order, if you read the book by Ray Dalio, he was a big hedge fund manager. The book is the video is beautiful. It's easy to understand. We are in decline. The United States is not going to be the world leading financial power for forever. But just like with the Romans, just like with the Dutch, just like with the British Empire, y'all, they still in business. The countries didn't, those places didn't fall off the earth. Their economies didn't disappear. They just aren't world leaders in finance. They're still participants, and I expect the same will happen to the US. Everybody knows China is emerging. We've got emerging markets. It's a race to the top. So it looks like China is poised to be a real contender in the financial markets. And so as the US peaks and then starts to kind of fade as the world superpower and financial hub, as the dollar becomes more decentralized, another country will move into that position. But it doesn't mean that every company in the US is going to fail. It does People will still do business. There's still money to be made. So my point is, should you be concerned? Yes. But more so than concerned, you should be educated. You should understand the history of the stock market, and not just the US stock market, but you should frame it from a big, step back. That's how I remain calm. I have kind of stepped back. I've zoomed out. I have a bigger view of how money works, how economies work, not just the US economy, but how world economies work. There's going to be a natural shift. So, yes, but don't let that fool you into thinking collapse. There's a big difference between collapse and a shift. And so what we're experiencing and we're watching in real time is the US is really shifting in terms of its economic power and its position throughout the world. That's just them is just facts. And y'all, president ain't helping it. I'm just saying. Incompetence don't help. And so you're going to see it in your portfolio, but do not panic. Don't panic, y'all. Okay, so let's get on to our next slide. Tag a sister who needs to see this. First of all, if you know anybody, share the video. If you know a Black woman who's out here working hard, working double time like I was in my teaching job, I ain't gonna talk about that. I get triggered when I think back to, first of all, August and September, the market is funny, y'all, but August and September means something totally different if you're a teacher. Not only you're panicked about a whole bunch of things, the stock market is one thing, but that getting ready to go back into that blood sucking job, it was never the children though. Let's clarify. It wasn't ever really the children. It was the weight, the load, it was admin, it was all the other things, crazy parents, all of that stuff. So August and September are particularly triggering for me. So I even bring that to my understanding that, girl, your body for 30 years was trained to tense up around August and September because you're gearing up to go back into work and you've been off for 2 months. But we don't want to succumb to our fears. That's the whole point of this. I came on here to tell y'all right now, don't be afraid. Nobody makes a good decision out of fear. Some of my worst decisions I ever made in my life, I made out of fear. Anybody can a witness your worst decisions when you're afraid. So don't do that. And if you know a sister who's working hard and her money ain't working hard, tag her, because we don't want that. We want all our sisters to prosper. Here's the good news. The rebound. Look, October generally finishes positive. In November, even though we are going to be experiencing midterm elections and there's some uncertainty there historically, you see this kind of recovery in October, November, and December. And don't forget, in the trading world in December, you got the Santa Claus rally, things start to pick up. So I'm trying to show you that there's this cycle of it's seasonality. Sometimes months, there are good months in the year, there are cooler months, there are hotter months. We generally are going to see a recovery. So if you could just hold out and not panic sell, if you could, I know it feels illogical to watch your numbers dwindle in your portfolio and you just hold tight, but you don't lock in a loss until you sell. Please don't sell. I'm just rather than sell everything, maybe if it's really bothering you mentally, move to something a little more stable. I mean, especially if you have a high concentration in single stocks, which is why I love a good ETF, an exchange traded fund, because now you've got a basket of stocks. In one place, you've got multiple stocks, sometimes as many as 500. You can have VTI has over 3,000 different companies that it represents, and everything can't be down at the same time, or generally everything isn't down at the same time. So do know that even if you see a dip, what are we going to do? We're not going to panic. We're going to reframe that, and we're going to start to see those as buying opportunities. Because now listen, if prices go down in August and September and you're buying, and you should always be buying, DCA, dollar cost averaging. If you don't know what that is, I'm telling y'all, you better just make yourself an appointment. But I'll give you the dirty, the quick and dirty. Dollar cost averaging is where you are investing in the stock market a set amount, a set time, and you let it ride. So for me, I usually have my withdrawal come out every Wednesday. I don't even look at it. It's automated. Automate your investments. It takes the guesswork out. You don't have to decide between the new shoes and should you buy this share of VTI or should you buy this share of VOO. Um, I do like for beginning investors, I think it's an easy way to get started is to invest in an ETF. You can build an entire portfolio around ETFs. But if you're concentrated, have a high concentration of single stocks, and you're noticing this volatility, maybe you want to move some of that, take some profit and reallocate that money into something that's a little less volatile than a single stock. I think we all were so happy if you got in on the Palantir, the Nvidia, Taiwan Semiconductor. If you got in on any of those and you took the ride up, everybody's happy when you're riding up. But when things start to take a turn, like we see now, folks are a little shaky. AI, people are worried about how much money they're pouring into their capital expenditures. Like, wait a minute, y'all, does this make sense? People are worried about company valuations. Are these companies overvalued? Are we overpaying for shares? And so, if you don't understand how to evaluate a company, whether it's overvalued or undervalued, you already know what I'm going to tell you. You better get with somebody who does know. You better learn, because there's no way you can be a good investor if you're not an informed investor. And so we do that. We just recently wrapped up our study on how to read um, cash flow statements, balance sheets. We got to go back and circle back to the balance sheet and income statements. And when I tell you it's easier than you think, the numbers look confusing, but they look confusing because you don't know what you're looking at. But when you look at it, when we look at it together, and we have looked at it over time, it's not a one time hit and keep moving. No, we circle back to a topic. Venus sent me something this week. She was just asking me about what ETFs would be good for trading. The folks in the community, we are community based. If you have a question, we're going to get to it. We're going to find an answer, and we're going to learn that stuff together. So the point is, please don't panic sell. Maybe reallocate some money if it's keeping you up at night, put it someplace safer. But wherever you put your money, please make sure your money is making money. And if you can hold out, look, you got a rebound coming. Historically, year after year, October, November, and December, you will see some of those gains coming back. Oh, our next study session is coming up August the 12th. So 2 days from now. It's Sunday for y'all. Wait a minute. It's Sunday night for y'all. Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. So 3 days. This is on my schedule because it's Monday morning for me. 2 days from now, join our study sessions. We ain't doing nothing in there but talking about this kind of stuff in depth. But I'll take your questions. I'm not the only person in there who knows how to invest. I'm not the only person in there who understands trading. And so you have all these sisters that you can kind of bounce questions off of too. So if you haven't joined the community, I don't know what you're doing with your life. And if you haven't hit like, subscribe, and share, I don't know what you're doing with your life. Anyway, okay, so why am I not panicking? Because all of that stuff that we just saw, seasonality, the things, the stock market, how it moves historically, we understand that the US is shifting, world power, all of that stuff, everything is dynamic. But these are trends. This happens over time. And another thing I would say, this is what keeps me from panicking. I kind of pull back. I see my money every day. Yes, I do. And I'm not saying you should do that because if you're, really easily shaken or rattled, looking at your money every day might not be the best thing. It doesn't bother me. I need to know. I know where every penny of my money is. I've said this, and this is the God's honest truth. I know where every penny of my money is every minute of the day. I check my stuff multiple times a day, only because I know that the market is dynamic and it's moving. I'm also looking for trade opportunities. I'm looking for, timing. Is it time to get in? Is it time to get out? So, but when you take a broader look, if you step back and you zoom out a little bit, it's not so scary. And you have to understand that dips are opportunities. You can buy more. If your dollar cost averaging, when the price goes down, you can buy more shares. So if you're steadily investing $100 every Wednesday, $200 every Wednesday, whatever it is, when those prices drop, your $200 buys more so that when the recovery comes, you're already positioned to capitalize on that investment. It makes sense, I am telling you. Please reframe when you see the market dip. Don't go running. Pay attention, but don't go panic selling. Dips are an opportunity, and historically, the stock market always rebounds. I promise you, it rebounds. I can't promise you anything except for study for yourself. Here's some wonderful places you can go. Go to Investopedia. Investopedia.com is a wonderful resource. Yahoo Finance, a excellent resource. I personally like what's the other one? I'll think of it in a second. There's several. You can always use AI. Now, AI, you have to be careful. Y'all saw how the U.S. government put out them bad maps of Africa. They were AI generated. You have to check behind AI. So what I like to do is triangulate. If I pose a question to Google, um, Google's AI is Gemini. If I pose a question to Gemini, I take Gemini's answer, then I throw it over in Claude. Once Claude spits it out, I take that, I toss that over in Chat GPT. I swear to goodness, I run it through 3 models. Somebody's going to catch it. And then I roll right back to Gemini and start out with, and so I kind of do that whole triangulation thing where I'm checking the checkers. And I have caught mistakes. And so, but it is a resource. You can Google a question, you can ask, and please fact check anybody you listen to on the internet. Don't take anybody's word for anything, especially when it comes to your money. And I'm telling you, take a class. It doesn't have to be mine. So which one of those hits a little differently, y'all? For me, I think learning to zoom out, learning to look at it and see the big picture. But I didn't come to that until I got educated. It's like once you start studying the history of economies and you see, oh, this is a cycle. Oh, this happens every year this time. Oh, it becomes a little less scary. So for me, being able to zoom out has been maybe one of the biggest things that has helped me in my investing. So we talked about scheduling your Kickstarter. We talked about our next session is coming up. And I think that's it. You're not behind, you're building. Did we do an hour yet? We did an hour. We have 45 minutes. Anyway, let me move that out because we got to talk for real. Okay, so I'm back. I want to make sure I'm just going to look at my notes really quick. I want to see. Oh, yeah, perplexity. Yes, I'm telling you, is the Wednesday night group. Let me put this up here. Is the Wednesday night group just for trading? No, girl, we are primarily investors. We do 2 hours. The first hour is purely investing. The second hour is trading. We move over to our Thinkorswim platform. Most of us are studying using Schwab, but I will say most of the ladies in the community have multiple accounts through multiple brokerages. Schwab, Fidelity. I have Webull and what's the other one? Robinhood. Although I don't concentrate a lot of my money on those two online platforms, but Schwab has a beautiful setup. You can open up any of those accounts with $0. $0. They all have a trading platform. So I encourage you. The reason I like Charles Schwab for investing and trading is because they have a wonderful free education component. They got a whole classroom tab where you can go. If you're the kind of person you can study in isolation, if you trust yourself like I'm gonna do it consistently, then that's a totally viable way of increasing your financial literacy. If you prefer to do it in the company of other women, which I do, because listen, y'all, we've been together so long. This is going on year 3. We aren't just in a class together. We're not just in a study session together. You all know this. I travel with these women. We meet up across the world. We talk, we check in with each other, we check on each other. It really has become like a family. And so the accountability. I can say some stuff on a Wednesday. If I come back the following Wednesday or too many Wednesdays in a row and I didn't follow through, I feel the pressure. It's like, wait a minute. I need to follow through on that. I need to. And so I think the accountability, the camaraderie, all of those things are what make the community work for me and for the ladies there. Which platform can you trade with overseas aside from Thinkorswim? All of them have a platform. TradingView, Fidelity has one. I think it's trash. I forgot what the name of it is. That's how little I use it. And I'm gonna say this: as much as I talk trash about Robinhood has come up. I don't like it because it's on your phone and it kind of gamifies. It's on your phone. I'm sure maybe they got an online interface too, but most people use Robinhood on their phone. I don't know that it's the best for studying, but they have gotten so much better. Webull, Moo, all of them. You can trade on all of them. You can access them from anywhere in the world. You have to be careful if you live outside of the U.S. And y'all know I'm a slow traveler. My residency is in the U.S. I live in Chicago. That's where my like all my mementos and my real stuff is. I happen to be a world traveler. You can still travel and trade. That's the beautiful part about it. You can make money and still travel the world. But any of those platforms you can access from anywhere. I have a Charles Schwab account and have never used it. Girl, don't tell me that. Don't say that. What? No. If you don't do anything else with that Charles Schwab platform, go to their it's called learning. It's a learning tab. They have free videos. Charles Schwab has, to me, one of the best built out education programs. They have YouTube video for everything, investing and trading. They have free videos on how to even use the platform. I'm telling you. Now, if you're like me, I don't mind doing that by myself, but it's something about, being able to get with the girls every 2 weeks, child. We talk about money and everything. So the community helps me. It keeps me accountable. It keeps me moving and progressing. Because if nobody was watching, you know, I'll probably be like, I'll look at it next week. I'll look at it next month. I'll do it next week. But when I know Wednesday is coming around, I'm a little bit more on top of my game. I study a little more. It forces me to study. Marilyn is dropping these resources in the chat for y'all, Investopedia and Yahoo Finance. Y'all better get on top of it. You really can. Does Fidelity have a training class like Schwab? Yes, they do. Fidelity, they do a great job too. Don't get me wrong. It's when I go to their platform, it's just not as readily available to me. Fidelity has a YouTube channel. Yep, it's all free. They all do. So I like them both. They have newsletters. I will tell you where I think Fidelity kind of exceeds or supersedes or does better than Schwab. Fidelity has multiple newsletters that are tailored for if you're a woman investor, if you're near retirement, if you are a student investor. Fidelity does a good job. I want to say they got at least 7 different newsletters that come automatically, and I do enjoy them. And they are easy to follow. Hey, Yvette. Hey, girl. Let's see. Is Charles Schwab the one that will refund your ATM fees? Both of them do. Fidelity does it and Charles Schwab. One of them does it at the end of the month. And somebody in the chat, if you remember which one it is, and one of them does it more intermittently. I want to say it's Fidelity. I think Fidelity, like if I go to the ATM and pull out money, I don't have to wait till the end of the month to see my ATM fee being reimbursed. And Schwab, I think they do all the reimbursing at the end of the month. Don't quote me on that. Somebody in the chat, if you know or if you can find out, but they both reimburse ATM fees. They both don't charge international fees. So if you're ever traveling and you have that card, you can, get money from the ATM, which is what I always suggest. I never use a money exchange because you just don't know what country you're going to be in. You don't know what the rate's going to be. I'd rather let my bank do it. So I always, when I go to an ATM with either my Charles Schwab card or my Fidelity card, I decline the bank conversion. Whatever that ATM conversion is, I decline it flat out every time. I never even think about it. And I allow my bank to do that. So either one of them will reimburse those ATM fees. Neither of them charge international fees. They just do it a little differently. That's it. Let me make sure I didn't miss any questions. Platforms. Yep. Did I miss anything? And I'm going to roll through. If you didn't catch this, Principles for Dealing with the Changing World Order by Ray Dalio, y'all please go watch that video. Let me just roll through my notes right quick because I want to make sure that I didn't miss anything because I came totally off script like I always do. I wanted to share another resource with you all. Let me see if I can grab it real quick. I'm going to put this in the chat. I'm telling you, y'all need to get over here too. We doing great things over here. I'm gonna put this in the chat. This is a tool that I created. It's called the Seasonality Wheel. Oh shucks, did I get it? I think I put it in the chat. Okay. And on the Seasonality Wheel, you can go and just click the month to see which sectors are hot and which ones are cooling. So for new investors, it's not like the Bible, it's not the gospel, but it is a little more insight because there are certain times of year where certain sectors do better. Let me see if I could pull it up for y'all because I love y'all like that. Let me go ahead on and put it in here myself, and then I'll show it because it's a very simple tool. It's easy to use. Wait a minute. Seasonality. Why is that link not working? Hold tight, folks. Let me go over here and grab this. Let me see. Why is that link? Don't use that link I just put in the chat. Let me go to Square. I got to check. Where? Hold on. Let me find it. Squarespace. Okay. So let me go ahead on and finish confessing. I know, girl, I just clicked it. Y'all know I created and I built my own website. So I could actually go in and fix that link. So hold tight. Let me go over here and see what's happening with the seasonality wheel because it's the cutest little tool. Okay, so let me figure. Oh, I know why. Because they grabbed the wrong link. Hold tight. I got you. I'm gonna give it to you right here, right now. Okay, let's go to these pages. Seasonality wheel. That was a generic. That was a generic slug. It's called a slug. It should be seasonality dash wheel. So hold tight. Let me fix that link for you. It should be seasonality dash. I'm gonna edit this. I wonder if you'll let me edit it. I'm gonna delete it and I'm gonna put it in again. And let's see, seasonality dash wheel. Okay. Try this link that I just dropped in, and then I will do it too. So let's go to, and I'll pull it up to legacy.com. I'm looking for it from like the legacy.com. Did that one work? Seasonality wheel. Okay, I got it. Did that one work? Hey, Sabangale. Did I see her? Hey. Did y'all catch Sabangale on Stephanie's live recently? Is Sabangale not a hoot? I laughed. I had such a good time. Okay, y'all check the new link that I dropped in there and see if it works. Girl, it's all right. We ain't nothing you don't know. Okay, so let me take this question. And then somebody check that seasonality wheel. I got it. I'm going to share it. Hold on, I'm going to take this question. Let me share this link. And then I'll show y'all how the seasonality wheel works. Okay. Let me share this screen. It's so simple, but it's good for if you're a new investor. It's easy to follow. Can you see it? Okay, so there's the seasonality. That's the page. Okay, so the question says, I have a Fidelity account with small accounts in several stocks, but I want to do better. Would your $99 course help me? I'm a senior and not sure where I need help at. Okay, so let me start here. We don't do a course because like a course has a beginning, an end, it's got a curriculum. We really are a learning community. And I think, and let me just go on and confess. And people say, Sandra, you tell the same story over and over again. I do, because it's the truth. Anytime somebody tell you the same story over and over again and it don't change, that's because they're telling you the truth. I started it because y'all know I'm a woman of a particular age. I'm over 60. And I sat in a class with a bunch of young whippersnappers. And man, when I tell you, I felt the disrespect in the room. They did not have the patience. And I get it. I get it. I was young once. I didn't want to be trying to explain nothing to my grandmama, although I did. So a part of the community is designed for older learners, period. The learning community is designed for people who need a little more time, a little more hand holding. We ain't going nowhere. It's not a rush. We don't mind if you ask the same question over and over again. We don't even mind if we revisit a topic, because for many of us, we have to see it over and over and over and over and over again. So if you are an advanced trader, you're not going to be happy with us. If you are you've been investing for 45 years and you got $7 trillion sitting in the bank and you know how it all go, this might not be for you. Our financial literacy learning community focuses on learners. We're learning things. And so I would say the $99 is the Kickstarter. That would be more for someone who's trying to figure out, where do I go next? Like, it's a 30-minute short. That's not what you want. You would probably want to join the financial literacy learning community, where we take our time. This tool I created for our financial literacy learning community. We introduced this a couple sessions back when we were talking about seasonality and market rotation. And so if you haven't had a chance to hit it, and when I tell you it's simple, because my background is in elementary education, I taught kindergarten, I taught Montessori, I taught second grade, third grade, fourth grade. I taught them all. In 30 years, you do a lot. I really think my gift is taking something that might seem complicated and breaking it down. So I would say, Dee, that you might do better in the learning community as opposed to that one time 30-minute session. That one time 30-minute session is really designed for someone who's got some quick questions like, I'm trying to do this. Where should I go? What should I look at? Or trying to decide if the learning community is right for you. But I'm telling you, based on what you just told me, I would probably opt for the learning community because it's ongoing. It's a slower pace. You can ask questions. You can interface with the other ladies that are there. Yeah, I think that would be a better fit. Okay, so the link is working. Yeah. And when I tell you, it's a simple tool. It's a simple tool. All you have to do, if you want to know what's hot in January, hit January. So let me go ahead on and demonstrate this thing. Here we go. So when you come down, like this is October, we're coming in September, October, November. You want to kind of see what's happening in August. Can you all see this? Historically hot utilities, consumer staples. Historically cool technology and consumer discretionary. Well, it makes sense for sure now. Tech is cooling off. Money is rotating out of tech. We're talking about two different things too. So this is our seasonality wheel. This is what happens historically, year after year after year. But we're also seeing money rotate out of tech in terms of market rotation, where folks were heavily investing in AI technology, anything, data centers, anything that had anything to do with AI, man, folks were pouring money into it. And now you see some of those stocks, people are starting to question, are they overvalued? Are we paying too much? Are we paying a premium for these? And investing money is starting to pull back and rotate out. So you really see two things happening with AI technology. You see some seasonality and some market rotation where money is, big money is moving to other places. So you want to see what's going to be hot in, let's say, January. There's no surprises. In January, tech stocks. Well, doesn't that make sense? Because in January, everybody coming fresh off December where they bought all of those gifts. Let me see what's happening in December too. They bought all that tech stuff. Then everybody's got gift cards and they're buying up a lot of, technology. Apple is going to do a booming business December and January. Financials, everybody is starting to invest. It's just like they should have gyms in there. It's the same thing. Every year in January, everybody's going to get their money together. Every year in January, everybody's getting healthy again. And so you'll see what's hot and what's not. Let's see for November. Consumer discretionary, tech, communication services, and financials. No sector historically weak this month. And so it's a really simple tool that you can use just to kind of check yourself. So that's the kind of thing that you can find in our learning community. I always try to come up with a new game, a new toy, a new something to kind of keep us going. So let's see. I think I got a hold to everybody's question. Okay, I'm going to revisit my notes one more time and we're going to wrap it up because I came to give you the good news, which is don't panic sell. Please don't do any of that. Okay, so the summer lull, we talked about this. We talked about August and September, you might want to take a defensive posture because there's some elevated volatility, and then there's lower market volume. Big hedge funds, them folks is on their yachts, y'all, out on the water. So you're going to see a summer lull. That's not anything to be alarmed about. Do know that October, November, December, the rally generally follows that summer lull. Another thing that and I just said it, that you might be witnessing is some sector rotation. Money doesn't just leave the stock market in late summer, it rotates. Capital historically moves away from high beta growth tech stocks to more defensive sectors like utilities, consumer staples, healthcare. We have seen it. We talked about this a couple weeks back, maybe last month in our study sessions. So when you look at the seasonality wheel, you can stop asking, is the market dying? And start asking, where's the money rotating to now? And how can I position myself for quarter four? How can I position myself quarter by quarter? And if you look back at the seasonality wheel, it's not just broken up by month, it's broken up by quarters. It's color coded by quarters. So here's what I'm doing, and I've said this, and we can basically wrap this thing up. I'm going to always dollar cost average in it. I'm going to always automate my investments so that, I'm not inclined to, I don't look at it like that. I'm always putting money in. I understand that at some point in the year, I'm going to pay more for a particular stock or ETF. I understand that some point in the year, I'm going to get it for cheaper. I'll be able to get more. That's one of the ways I help stabilize myself. Being able to understand market rotation and seasonality helps me stay calm. Another thing that I do when the market is getting crazy like this, and we've talked about this in our classes too, selling covered calls. Elevated August, September volatility drives up options premiums for investors holding solid core stocks. Like I run my, it's the wheel strategy. I sell my covered calls on SoFi. And if anybody, I got to tell this one too, and we're going to wrap it up. It's the perfect time. When the market gets volatile, those premiums go up. If you are selling covered calls, you love to see, a high premium. If that's all I can tell you. Anyway, so let me just come off script and get back to it. Anybody been watching SoFi? Me and Venus was on the phone. I told it to y'all last time. Me and Venus was literally on the phone. SoFi dipped below $15. SoFi has been bouncing, I would say, over the last year between $14 and $20. You don't want to buy when it's high. This is why you need to understand two things: how to plot your own support and resistance. If you don't know how to do that, then get with somebody, watch a video. You also want to understand supply and demand. When you understand those two things, then it makes it clearer when you should enter a trade or enter an investment and when it's time to cash out. So me and Venus on the phone. Venus is like, I was like, girl, it's under $15. It ain't been under, well, it has dipped under 15, but it hasn't been down to the $14 level. So we watching it. I'm like, Venus, hold tight. Let's see if it goes further down than I think it hit like 14.88. Well, it didn't. It bounced off of like the $15 support. Venus was able to get in. I'm telling y'all, at last check, it was up over $18. That's a quick move. That's a quick money move. I'll take this one to my grave. So she got in at $15. This is just hypothetically. Let's say you just happen to have $3,000 sitting somewhere. It's making money. Let's say it's in a high yield savings account. It's over in your money market over SPAX, over at Fidelity, and it's sitting there earning a little something. And you know that SoFi is sitting at this support. It hits this support of $15, and you buy yourself 200 shares, and you ride it up to $18.50. It got up to, I want to say, I think it got up as high as 1875. You just made $3.75 per share. If you bought 100 shares, you made $375. If you bought 200 shares, you just made over $750. Y'all, I wish I had time to pull up the chart so you could see it. That's a perfect rinse and repeat. That's a perfect rinse and repeat. So you buy at support, you sell at resistance. This I don't know how to make it no simpler than that. You buy at support, you sell at resistance. That's one way you could trade SoFi. Another way, if you're like me, like I'm holding mine. I did sell 100 shares though when that thing hit 18, whatever it was. I did take a little bit of that profit, so I'm still holding 100 shares. I can still trade covered calls on those. And covered calls is where you're the seller. You own the stock, but you're basically renting out your stock, and the person on the other end of the deal is paying you a premium. You get to keep the premium no matter what. Your hope is that that contract that you enter into, I usually do a 30-day, 45-day, because I'm looking to generate monthly income with these covered calls. You keep the premium. I'm hoping that that contract will expire worthless, meaning at the end of the 30 days or the 45 days, whatever strike price we chose, it didn't hit that strike price. I know it sounds crazy and complicated, but when I tell you it's one of the easiest trading strategies ever, you know it's easy if I'm running it, right? Because I'm not that girl. I'm going to do, I don't want to say simple things, but I'm going to do things I understand. I'm going to do things that don't carry as much risk. I don't want to be tied to my computer every day. I sell that covered call, honey. They deposit that money into my account. I go about my business. I check in to make sure, that it's still trading in that range and that it hasn't hit my strike price. Because if it hits your strike price, you will get, if it hits or exceeds your strike price, you can be assigned where you will have to sell those stocks at that agreed price. But of course, you're going to pick a strike price that is above what you paid for the stock, which means you're going to be selling it. If you get assigned, you're selling it at a profit. This is why you need to know when to enter into a trade, when to buy. When should you even buy SoFi? And I'm just using SoFi as an example because you can do this with any stock. You can sell covered calls. You can certainly plot your support and resistance, understand supply and demand, when to buy, when to sell. These are not hard concepts. If it was me, I would never buy SoFi. Now I know because it trades between this kind of $15 and $20 range. You want to buy when it's closer to $15. You want to buy when it dips down to $14. So now you're watching for the pullback. And then you want to know when to get out. You want to get out when it hits resistance. And you can look at the stock price action historically, and you can plot those, and you can know that at 1850, just like that's where it was sitting that's why I bailed at 18. I actually got out at 1825. Because it bounced off of the 1850 resistance. I'm like, okay, she having trouble. She can't break through this 1850. It got up above 1850 for a little bit. I think 1870 something, but it couldn't break through. It couldn't get to 19. So it was a good time for me to bail. It was a good time for me to take a little profit. I can put that money, somewhere, put it back over in SPAX, your uninvested cash, put it in your high yield savings account, wherever it is, it's going to make some money while you're waiting for another opportunity to jump back into the market. I use SoFi as an example because SoFi is, everybody understands what SoFi is. It's the online bank. It's not hard. It's not complicated. It's not some complex business model. It is affordable. It trades currently somewhere between $15 and $20. I ain't seen $20 in a while, but it will retest that 20. And if you got it at $15 and you can hold on to 1850 or $20, you capitalize. You can take profit, or you can be a long-term holder. So there's so many ways that you can make money. That if you had $3,000 and a week ago, I think it was about a week ago, couldn't have been more than 2 weeks ago, you bought SoFi at $15. You made a quick 750 in your pajamas. You never left the house. You could do that from anywhere in the world. Rinse and repeat. Find another stock that you can afford. Plot the support and resistance. If it pulls back to a support, that's a buying opportunity. So pullbacks are buying opportunities. I guess that's what I really want to tell you. Okay, so hold on. Do you discuss tax implications of selling stocks and capital gains? We have, but I will tell you this. A tax professional is a tax professional. They tax professionals for a reason. I can give you all the IRS publications. I can tell you about how capital gains is taxed. I can tell you all of that stuff. But you definitely want to have a tax professional. This is the first year I ever prepared my own personal taxes. I, I don't fool around. I talk about investing. I stay in my lane. But yes, we have. And I have all that stuff is located in our Google Classroom, all the resources, all the IRS publications where you can go online and look at it yourself. Because that's not hard either. I mean, the tax implications. Yes, if you have a capital gains, you're going to pay taxes at the end of the year. Uncle Sam ain't never gonna change. If you making money, he wants his cut. Now, if you sell an equity that you invested in less than a year, if you owned it for less than a year, you're going to pay a higher capital gains tax on that. If you held it for a year and a day, then there is a different way that money is taxed. Again, I am not a financial advisor. I am not a tax professional. Do we know this to be a fact? Yes. Can you Google it and check it for yourself? Somebody check it right now. Check it. Capital gains are taxed at two different rates, depending on how long you hold it. But I would still tell you, girl, you better get in there and talk with your tax professional. I know I got some dental work I need to do, y'all, but I'm not a dentist. I'm still gonna go to the dentist. I'm not gonna go in there and just put some medicine on a piece of cotton ball and think I fixed the problem. Yes, I know that there's something going on. The same true with your money, with your health, with anything. It is sometimes worth it to pay a professional. And if we probably have some people in here who are, better versed than me. But yes, we do talk about it because my thing is education. I'm not a tax professional, but I want you to understand about tax loss harvesting, all of these things. We talk about all of it. If you don't know what tax loss harvesting is, at the end of the year, if you've got some losers that are sitting on the books, like let's say you've got a position, it's a losing position, you might want to consider, it's a strategy. People will sell some of those losing positions so that they can take advantage of those tax benefits. It can help offset some of your capital gains. So again, don't take my word for it, child. Google it. So I do running the wheel on IWM. Okay, so since we're here and Venus already asked the question, I used to trade IWM, QQQ, and SPY. Venus asked the question, like, what are some good ETFs to trade on? Because we always talk about trading. I talk about trading SoFi because I'm doing cover calls in the wheel strategy. But IWM, QQQ, SPY, these are all ETFs that you can trade. They're liquid. They are, everybody knows them, so you can get in and out of them. They got tight bid ask spread. It's a lot of volume. Pick one. But, of course, your budget is going to depend. I want to say SPY contracts are probably the most expensive if you're talking about trading them. QQQ, they're certainly more expensive than IWM. Hey, place to vent. Oh, new subscriber. Yay. Welcome to the family. I have done my taxes for years, not me. I just got now that my situation is so much simpler since I don't own any property, I don't got no kids. I ain't got, it's just me. It's just me and my money. It's so much easier. So this is the first year I was able to go ahead and do my personal taxes. Yes, get your free wealth building toolkit. If you haven't already done that, go get it. Some of the stuff that we talked about today is in, and it's free, totally free. I also have a free wealth affirmation. If you, it's 30 days of wealth affirmations. Every day, you got to work on that money mindset. Money don't, your mind about money and your money story don't just change overnight. If you need some assistance with some money mindset work, we do that as well. We read books, we read money books in our community. We got to get back to it. We need a good book. It's been a minute since we read a good book, but we've read maybe 4 or 5 books together. We summarize them and have like a little book club around money books and stuff. So, yes, place to vent. Thank you. If you are here with us, if you got a question, put it in there. I showed y'all the seasonality wheel. I got another tool too, but you got to come to class for this one. It's called the follow the money. Oh, that was the last thing I wanted to tell you. Let me tell you another reason why I'm not panicking. Sips tea. Y'all, you can follow the money. Anytime your congressmen, your senators, politicians are dropping big bucks somewhere, y'all know they know. I'm sorry, I said what I said. You know they know. And so you can follow what they're investing in. Now there's a little lag time. And I'm not sure, I'm sure they can get in trouble if they don't disclose everything. But y'all know it's messy over there. But you can see, like I went to school, and I think Cleo Fields is either, I know he's from Louisiana. Either he's a state senator or congressman. I'm not sure. But I went over and checked out what Cleo was investing in. You can see what your senators, congressmen, you can see what they're investing in, where they're dropping money. And I hate to tell y'all, but it's concentrated. Baby, they all investing in the same stuff. You can see how much they invested, how often they invest. Yeah. So I put together a little tool. Yes. I created this another tool, and it's 6 resources. And I tell you exactly how to use them all, where you can go and see exactly who's doing what, how much, when they bought it, when they sold it. I'm just telling y'all. Have y'all read? Yes, girl, we just talked about that. Principles of a Changing World already. I've had that book for over a year now and really never dived in. Girl, don't even read the book. Go watch the video. I'm telling you, it's on YouTube. Use the book for something else. Donate the book. Give it to somebody else. The video does a beautiful job. There are 2 versions of it. There's a 20-minute version and a 40-minute version. And to be perfectly honest with you, the 20-minute version will get you there. It'll get you, you'll get there. Of course, they insider trading. Y'all, if you follow the money, that's the name of my resource. I'm going to be introducing that in class on Wednesday. It's called Follow the Money. You can see it. You can see it plain as day. You can see all of them are investing in the same stuff. You can see it. I'm sorry. When I looked, I was like, oh, my jaw hit the table. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I did. I gave everybody the link to the video. Girl, go watch the doggone video. Don't even bother with the book. The video lays it out beautifully. But I think if you have to watch it, and how do I want to say this? The book isn't intended to make you panic, because I know plenty of people who have this, the sky's falling. That's not me. I'm sorry. I do think the US is in trouble. I do think things are shifting. But do I think that they're headed for total collapse? Collapse is strong. I mean, collapse could mean, for some people, it will mean that they are no longer a world power or a leading economic power. Well, yeah. But if you're thinking collapse, like the whole system is about to fall down, I don't know if I'll see it in my lifetime. Anything could happen, but you all look at the video, read the book. It explains this natural shift. It's an ebb and flow. That's just the way it is. It happened with the Roman Empire. It happened with the Dutch. It happened with Great Britain. It's going to happen to the US. And whoever is the next emerging economic power, it will happen to them. But I need you to step back and look at those places. Rome's still on the map. People still trading in Italy. They still making money. The Dutch, you can still go to Sweden. You can go to all them Dutch countries. Them people still trading. They still making money. Great Britain didn't fall off the globe. Every business didn't close down. The world still exists. So be careful. All empires fail. Somebody said it. All empires fail eventually. It's just you can't be in power for forever, and the US time is almost up. But does that mean that every company that is in business in the US is going to fail? My conjecture is no. They will still be doing business. Will the dollar always be um, like the center of the universe? Probably not. Probably not. In a minute, y'all gonna be talking about yens and whatever else they trading with, or whatever the dollar is yen Japanese. You're gonna be talking about another currency. It'll be another currency that anchors the economy. But people in the US will still buy cars, they will still make computers, they will still make products, and you can still make money in the market. So I am not a doomsday prepper. Not that, there's nothing wrong with being prepared, but I think you have to put it in context and you have to understand your own risk tolerance. If a 10% dip in the market is going to send you into a tizzy, don't ignore your body. Don't ignore that. Move your money to someplace safer. Move your money to someplace that's a little less volatile so you can sleep at night. It's still making money. I mean, but if you're trying to maximize, I just don't think there's a better deal. You got gold, you got real estate, you can trade and invest in anything. What I don't want anybody to do is just have your money sitting somewhere. Please, if you don't do anything else, if you don't take anything from this conversation today, please know where your money is. Just know where it is. Please put it someplace. Pick a high yield savings account. We just opened up some SoFi, and I think it was almost 4%. It was 4% or a little bit more. And if you did a direct deposit, they gave you some little sign up bonus. So you can still get better than 3% on your money. I'm pretty sure SPAXX is paying more than 3%. Somebody can check it out. Any of those, if that'll help you sleep at night. Consider a bond. Consider a bond ladder. Consider CDs. I personally don't like those. You want to know why? Because they move too slow. I need my money. I got things to do. I need my money to be doing much as I'm doing. And so while my portfolio is structured in a way that I think mitigated a lot of my risk because I have spread out. My portfolio is heavily concentrated into ETFs. I do own single stocks, full disclosure. So if you hear me, I always tell everybody, if you hear me talking about them, I'm not telling you to go buy what I bought. I'm just telling you, just so you know, I definitely own SoFi. I own Nvidia, Palantir, Taiwan Semiconductor. I got a little bit of Apple, not nearly enough. And that's about it. Those are the five. I think that's it. Those are the five individual stocks I own. Everything else I have in an ETF, VTI, VYM, and I can't think, is that it? I think that's it. So, yeah, I can sleep at night. If you can't sleep at night worrying about your money, you need to move it to someplace that's a little less volatile. Let's see. One thing I remember from the principles video is that empires, yep, it's a 250-year cycle. In America's, the gig's up. The gig is just about up. The British pound and the euro is worth more than the dollar. Y'all, the thing ebbs and flows. Those people are still making money. And that's my point. Graham says, I don't know how I got here, but I'm glad I'm here. Truly enjoyed the live. Hey, well, I'm glad you're here too. I hope you liked the video, subscribe, share, all that other stuff. CDs and high yield savings are worthless due to inflation. Not only that, not only inflation, but you're going to pay taxes too. So, high yield savings accounts, I think is better than nothing, but you have to remember anything that you gain, you're going to pay on those. Is it better than putting your money in a shoebox? If you're making 1 or 2% after taxes, it's better than putting it in a shoebox. Personally, I don't think that the stock market for me is the way to go. Over time, you're looking at somewhere between 8 to 12% on your money. People, if you're looking for something a little more defensive, like gold, maybe you want, I'm a proponent of a balanced portfolio. And if y'all want me to, the next time I'll show you like a mock-up portfolio that I created for a female 45 years old. Somebody says, do you have any international stocks? Yeah, you know what, Deborah, I have to go back and look at that because, I built my grandbaby, excuse me, y'all. I built my grandbaby's portfolios in VWO. Oh my gosh. You should definitely have a balanced portfolio. You should have some emerging markets in there. You should have some international stocks in there, a dividend paying stock, ETF. You can do stocks or you could do or ETFs. Personally, I would do all of these as ETFs. I would have, and yeah, I don't get no financial advice. This is not financial advice. You ask, I'm telling you what I would do. I'm not telling you what you should do. I'm talking about what I would do and what I did for my grandbabies. They have, I think, stellar portfolios. They're young, so it will look a little different for an older person. They've got time, they can take more risk. So, yep, they've got, I want to say it's VWO. I have to look, well, I got it right here on my phone. Hold on. I could tell you exactly. So they've got emerging markets. Hold tight. International for sure. Well, Taiwan Semiconductor is an international stock. Okay, so let me tell you what the kids got, how I built theirs out. And I've probably paid more attention to them than my own. So all of them have Google, Eli Lilly, Meta, NVIDIA. Then they have a plethora of Schwab. They've got, I'm just going to call out the tickers: SCHA, SCHB, SCHF, SCHG, SCHM. Of course, their uninvested cash is sitting in SPACs. They've got SPYM and VWO, which is Vanguard's International Fund. So yeah, I structured theirs. They got to pick their individual stocks. Of course, they picked Google. They understood Meta and Google. The boys did, the older ones did. And so we threw in some Eli Lilly. And so let me just tell y'all, I'm just going to share with you all the percentages. So total percentage gain, they are up 20%. Their portfolios are up 20%. 6% on Google. They're up 33% on Lilly. Meta's up 2.5%. NVIDIA's up 51%. Their SCHA is up 20%. Their SCHB is up 12%. SCHF is up 16%. SCHG is up 13%. SCHM is up 18%. SPYM is up 15%. And VWO, their international stock, is up about 13%. So they're doing pretty good. That's, if you don't know, for your minors or your grandchildren or some minor child that you love, you can open up a custodial account. And so I opened up custodial accounts for all of my grandchildren, and we talk stocks, we talk money. They understand what's in there. And my grandson just had a birthday. He got $50 for his birthday. Well, he don't get the whole $50. He has to invest 20% of that money. So I know it sounds like a small amount, but $10 goes into his brokerage account. He gets to tell me where he wants his $10 to go. And now I'm watching the boys' accounts are starting to pull apart because, one of my grand boys, he don't care. He like, I don't care. Put it over there. Okay, I'll put it wherever you say. My other grand boy is a little more thoughtful. So he's like, well, who's doing the best of, what? So he talks a little bit more. And his account is, as a result, doing a little bit better. Let me see. Let me look at the other ones. The girls, let me see. Who else is over here? My girls are lagging a bit because they don't want to invest. They don't want to do things. They're younger too. My baby, in defense of my grandbaby girl, she only 8. So let me see. She's up. Well, she's up 22%. So yeah, they're all hovering around somewhere between 20 and 22%. Let's see, watching on my TV, so I'm not commenting, but looking great. Oh, good, glad we didn't have that buffering thing that we had. Okay, be sure to turn on your notification bell and select all. Yes, please do that. And if you haven't liked, subscribed, and share, please do it. Yes, that is so wonderful. They are definitely going to be set for retirement, probably an early retirement at that. Yep, go ahead, Grandma. You could do it too if you have a loved one. And I'm telling y'all, listen, this is how we get ahead. It's not just about me, because y'all know I could be out here shaking and shimmying under these pennies. I could be out here high teeing it up. I could be doing all of that stuff. And I do a fair bit of that, but a fair bit of it too. I pay it forward. I give back. I try to support somebody else. And so if you are a YouTuber, on that note, if you're a YouTuber and you're in here, I know Sabangale was in here. Sabangale has a Substack newsletter that goes out. Sabangale is a gifted writer. She has a wonderful book called Now About That Budget. If you haven't gotten it, it's for sale. It's on Amazon. Please go support a sister. She also has a YouTube channel. We don't retire, we ascend. And if you scroll back through the chat, you'll see her in here. So please, yep, we don't, let me put it up here. We don't retire, we ascend. I think she's pretty much that all over the internet. I know she's that on Instagram. I believe that might be the name of her YouTube channel. Please go support her sister. It's free. Just go over there and like it. If you were someone else who, oh, Voyager, girl, are you still doing YouTube? I'm not sure. But if you have a YouTube channel, please drop it in the chat. We'll shout it out. We'll drop the link. We'll send folks over. Like, subscribe, and share. Let's treat each other well. I love every time we talk, shaking and shimmying. Girl, we out here. But even with my shaking and shimmying, I try to pay it forward. And I hope that you leave here with something that you learned today, something that you gained. If nothing else, a little more confidence in what you already know, or even the knowledge that there are Black women out there just like you. We're new to investing. We're new to trading. We don't want to do it by ourselves. All the research says that if you do it in community, that you are more likely to stick with it. This is Sabangale's book. Hit that thing. Order her book right after Stephanie's live. Yes. Yes. Everybody in our financial literacy community at the beginning of the year got a free copy of the book. Yes. So please go support my sister. Here it is. She's on Amazon. Check out her Substack. Subscribe to that. And I'm not sure if there's anybody else. Yes. And when I tell you the book is easy to read, it's not preachy. It's not full of jargon. We don't do any of that. I don't do any of that. Even when we do our book club, we break it down. When we do our book study, yeah, we've read at least 5 or 6 different books, finance books, and we have all of that information stored in our Google Classroom. So I think that just about ties it up. I think I'm gonna visit my notes one more time, make sure I didn't leave anything off. We talked about, okay. Yep, we talked about the free tool. That's it. I think I got everything. Yep, I think we hit it all. We talked about all the sector rotation, the seasonality, what's the difference between those things. And that's it. Okay. Last pitch of the day. I'm telling you, if you want to learn how to become a better investor, if you want to learn how to become a better trader, sign up. Child, we meeting this Wednesday. I'm going to introduce the follow the money tool that I put together. And so, generally, during my downtime, because we meet every 2 weeks, I'm always trying to come up with a new game, a new something to keep it interesting. I will take a question if somebody in the community has a question and do the research as best I can. And then everybody contributes. And I'm telling you, we're all the better for it. I want to thank you all because you could be doing anything with your Sunday night. You could be doing absolutely anything. You could be anywhere in the world. And the fact that you would come and spend time with us talking about money, talking about travel. I'm trying to think, is there anything else I need to tell y'all? I'm gonna have to do another live, y'all, to tell y'all about the apartment. I know I did one that showed you it looks nice, it's cute, it's everything it is. But honey, getting in here was not easy. When I got here, it wasn't clean. How you gonna charge me top dollar? Because you know I'm paying top dollar for it because I'm not a local. So I'm not getting any discount. Baby, when I tell you the dust in here was choking me, the refrigerator was an abomination. The fight I had to go through, nobody wants to be the ugly American. Nobody wants to be that. But did I show that already? I had to, I had to bring out a little Chicago to get them to come up in here and clean this place. And it still wasn't, it still wasn't what it should have been. So I had to wind up hiring a professional cleaner to come through and clean it, to make sure I could breathe in here. But what I love about where I am, because Malaysia is so hot and so humid, many places that I looked at before I got in here had mold. You could smell it. It's an issue. It's an issue. And it's not just Malaysia, it's any tropical place where it's hot and it is humid. It's the humidity. Well, my place was no different. My search, I went to a bunch of places. As soon as I walked in, my throat locked up. I was like, yeah, I ain't gonna be able to do that. And so I found this building, no mold. So I'm thankful for that because that is not the issue. But dust and dirt, what are you doing? Why? Wait a minute. Why are these windows caked with dust? I can run my finger. Why is it dusty in here? Why is there dirt above? Y'all can see that cabinet back there, right there. Let me see. Let me point to it. Right there. I'm that kind of person. I was all up on top of the cabinets because I want to know, did you really clean? I was on top of the cabinets. I was under the bottom of the cabinets. I'm wiping it. Wait a minute. Y'all didn't clean this the way you were supposed to. Y'all didn't scrub these walls down, these baseboards. I used to have to do that as a kid. My mama, she wasn't no joke, baby. You clean the baseboards in the bathroom. So of course I come through, and y'all know I'm a little little type A. I'm all of that. If something's not right, I'm not going to really rest until it's right. So I had to do a little. I had to get them up against the ropes to get them in here to come in and clean the stuff. And I got to. This is the last thing. Are you all familiar with MJ Harris? Anyway, look him up. He recently did a video, and I'm gonna have to do it too. I think I'll make it the video when I tell you about how hard it was, and I'll share the pictures. Because when I tell you, it was not pretty. It was not nice. It was wrong. I'm being nice. It was wrong. And so he did a video that talks about being a Black American in a developing country or another country besides your own. And I'm gonna try to wrap it up because here's what he said, and I know it to be true. And his story happened with the doorman. Now my doorman happened to be fabulous. They are lovely. But the trick to a doorman, honey, is the first time you meet him and you shake his hand, and the first time he move a bag for you, you got to pay him well. My brother taught me that trick. You pay your doorman, whoever those people are that are in that building are going to help you, those service people, you tip them right out the gate. I don't care if it's a country where tipping is not mandatory. You take care of those people. So I don't have no problem with my doorman, honey. My doorman bring my water up. My doorman open the door. He do all kind of stuff. But MJ had a problem with his doorman, and here's what he summed it up as: because he's in Brazil, and it's true in my building too. Most of the service people in my building are brown people, period. So if you think you're going to go to travel internationally and you're not going to see classism or you're going to escape racism, I'm sorry. It's everywhere. This ain't got nothing to do with money. I'm just telling y'all what happened, and I'll follow up with another video. But this really happened to me. And when I heard MJ say it, I was like, yep, he is not telling a lie. So in Malaysia, which is where I am, I'm in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. There are three primary um, cultures. You have Indians, and y'all know Indians are brown people. You have Malays, and you have Chinese. And I'm not going to, I be trying to tell y'all the truth without getting in trouble. Well, Chinese people like to be, they want to be adjacent. They want to be this adjacent. I'm just saying, there's a lot of people like that want to be white adjacent because that's power, is close to power. I get it, I understand. Well, most of the service people in my building are brown building. MJ is in Brazil. Most of the service people in his building are brown people. It is what it is. And he was saying that he noticed that not the white people or not the expats in his building didn't treat him any kind of way with anything but respect. They were quite neighborly. They were friendly. Same is true in my building. Now, Chinese people ain't warm, but they're respectful. But what he noticed was that the brown doormen and the service people treated him like, they didn't treat him the same way they treated the Caucasians or the other expats from European countries. And he surmised, and maybe even had a conversation with somebody else in Brazil. I think I forgot what city he's in, that for many of them, it's the first time they see people like us, Black people, brown people, Africans, or whatever, living in these buildings. They're not used to servicing us. And so him and his doorman got into it because the doorman was telling him he wasn't going to do what he was going to do for him and what he wasn't going to do. And he had to tell him, listen, I'm a resident here, just like everybody else. But there is this thing that happens. I have seen it. I have witnessed it. And I try to be so delicate here, y'all. But sometimes people who look like us are not ready to treat us the same way or afford us the same courtesies that they afford to Europeans. I don't know why it happens, and I put that as nicely as I could. I hope y'all could read between the lines. I don't have many problems with anybody here, but if I ever am getting some pushback, sometimes it's from brown people. It's from the Bangladeshis. I said what I said. They will try to look, like they looking at me like, what you doing over here? Well, I live here. I have noticed that in my travels that poor people or people that are socially and economically disadvantaged, when they see us, they are shocked, number one. And some of them, not all, because I've met lovely people of all shapes, sizes, colors, hues, and that is on God. I've met lovely people across every spectrum. But sometimes brown people who are disenfranchised or disadvantaged, or they don't take too kindly to other brown people on the come up. In their minds, it's a come up. For us, it's not. MJ say, I'm just in Brazil living my life. Y'all, if y'all haven't caught that, catch his video, because he's bolder and braver in his speech and his language, and he's more eloquent the way he spoke it. I am always careful and conscious because I live here in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. And somebody asked, do you leave every 90 days? Girl, I leave more frequently than 90 days. Like I just got here in July. I'll be gone to Vietnam. I'm going to Da Nang to see my sisters. So I'll be before 90 days. And then I'm going to Mexico and Panama. So I'll be gone. This is my place where I drop my suitcases. I picked Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia, in case you don't know, because it's so centrally located. It's a beautiful international airport. I can get to anywhere in Asia easily. 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours, 5 hours. I can get a flight to any major city in the world right here. It cost me $20 to get to the airport. So I picked Malaysia because it works for my travel. I can get in and out. I can get flights that aren't going to break the bank. I don't have to make many stops. Like when I'm going back home to the US, I fly from here to Tokyo and then Tokyo home. I don't have to go to some little, like if I fly out of Chiang Mai, basically you got to go through Bangkok. And then from Bangkok, you got to go. And so it adds an extra step. So I picked Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia as the place where I drop my bags. It is my kind of my home base when I'm moving throughout Asia, because there's still so many things I want to see. Like I didn't get a chance to go to China. I didn't get to Borneo. And I definitely need to get back to the Philippines. So I'm going to do one more year in the region and try to hit all the places I didn't hit. So do I leave every 90 days? Child, I don't be here half the time. Half the time be my suitcases here. Somebody said, where are you? I'm in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. Yep, the apartment is beautiful. It's got beautiful views. Hey, I see we got some Chi-Town in the house. Not a little Chicago. I definitely realized how different cleanliness standards can be. Yep. And so I had to reel it in too, y'all. Back to that, when I came in and it wasn't clean. It's a balance, because of course, you know, who was cleaning my apartment are the brown people. Now that's tricky for me because, you know, I'm always balancing this. Is my place not prepared because I'm a brown person? Is my place not prepared because I'm an expat? Is my place not prepared because I'm a woman in a Muslim country? Is my place, it could be any number of those things, but I never stopped there. It could be any of those. So I don't know why it wasn't. I just know that it wasn't. Then moving on to the next step, how do I get it fixed? There's always this balance, because people in Asia are very polite. They're non-confrontational. So that's a skill. How do you negotiate getting what you need without pissing these people off? Because you can piss these people off and then now they dragging their feet and you ain't getting nothing done. So when I tell you travel, living abroad, interfacing with different cultures, it is a whole education. It's a whole education. So I got most of what I wanted. I got them to clean it to a place where it was acceptable. But was it what I needed? No, child. I need to pay a professional to come through here and clean these air vents again. I had to pay somebody to come in here because I can't wash all these windows. So, you know, there's that. It's okay. It's getting done. I'm in California by way of Chicago. Hey, all my Chicago peeps are here. I'm surprised. I thought Malaysia would be clean as far as apartments like Thailand. Cleaners even come with some apartments there. It's the same here. Girl, it's clean. But everybody's standard of cleanliness, okay, let me put it this way. When I walked in with the realtor, at first glance, it looked very clean. I was like, oh, cool, we're good. They give you 14 days in my complex to list anything that needs to be fixed. They're very responsive. But even when they come back and clean, I'm like, where's the sanitizing solution? Y'all, you know, and I know we shouldn't be using Fabuloso because all the phthalates or whatever the fragrances are. But y'all, I still use bleach. I'm sorry, I'm an old black lady. I don't know if I'm gonna ever stop using bleach. Cheryl be trying to get me to get more eco-friendly cleaners. Child, I need to know. I'm gonna use all of that. I'm gonna use vinegar. I'm using bleach. I'm using all the cleaners my mama and my grandmama use. I'm gonna use some Fabuloso. If I thought I could find some Comet around here, I would have me some kitchen cleanser too. I just need it to be clean. I need you. Ooh. They came through with them little microfiber, them moist microfiber towels, wiping stuff down. And I'm sitting here looking like, that is not clean. What you have done is just remove the top layer of dirt. That is clean, but it's not sanitized. And so it's that. It looks clean. It was very presentable. And for somebody who maybe is accustomed to a different kind of cleanliness and sanitation, that's two different things. And so while it looked clean to them and they kept looking at me like, well, what's the problem? What the problem is? It's clean. It's clean, but it's not sanitized. And so, yeah, I'm like, I was not feeling it. Yes. Okay. See, my girl be on it. That's MJ's channel. Y'all go check out MJ's video, and he talks about how being brown and interfacing with brown service people, it's really a work of art. It's a fine line, because I always want to be respectful. And it was an older lady. But here, let me tell y'all this too, because I don't know, I'm funny. She's an older lady. She looks Malay. And I think, just take my word for it, she looks Malay. But the workers who are actually going up on the ladders and doing the grunt work and down on their knee, they're Bangladeshis. I swear to y'all, I'm just gonna tell it, it's a whole color thing here. They don't call it racism, they call it something else. Favoritism. Call it what you want. There's a whole system, a hierarchy. Because I'm American, I kind of circumvent that thing, because when they look at me, they don't know. They can't tell. They can't tell. But they're very curious. And so I always share, as things start to kind of, I don't know, it depends on how crazy the US is acting, girl. Sometimes I tell them I'm Canadian. I don't want nothing to do with, don't ask me nothing about the US. But they know as soon as I open my mouth. I will tell you this, they treat African Americans differently than they treat Africans. It's not much better, but it's a little better. They treat Americans better, period, because that blue passport signifies to some people money and wealth. They know that if you're here and you got a blue passport, you're American, you probably got some kind of money, because how else would you be here? I have watched them treat Africans horribly. I've seen it in Spain. I saw it here. I didn't see too many Africans in Thailand. And Thailand is a totally different beast. Those people are so kind. I didn't see a lot of Africans in Indonesia, but certain countries treat Africans, Black Africans, if you can visibly see that they're African, they treat them horribly. And that bothers me, because child, it ain't that much difference. Ain't that much difference. It's really not. And I know if you have a disdain for them, you have some degree, or it's plausible that you have some degree of disdain for me as well. And so I'm always careful in these spaces. They've also brought in, yes, oh gosh, everybody wants to be adjacent to, because this is money. This represents wealth. It is really about money. It's really about money and power. Yeah. So I don't know. I've heard that many times, even in African countries, they openly treat white people. Yes, yes, yep. Now, I will say here, it's not, I don't deal with that on a day to day. I don't have to deal with that kind of racism day to day. I kind of fade into the background again, because they cannot tell if I never speak. It's always the double take, like the nappy puff, that that's what trips them up. They be like, it's a question. You can see it's always a big question mark, and I let it be, because I'm not. Hey, here, I'm just here. I'm here temporarily, ma'am. You don't mind me. I'm a fly on the wall. I'm here watching. And when I tell you, I have learned so much living with different cultures. Oh my goodness, it's a study. It's interesting to witness the difference in treatment they give to white people sometimes. I had one white couple get in front of me at the bakery. The lady helped them. I just left. Yep, we always have the free will. My money, oh, and we're going to talk about that one too, honey, because if you got money, though, money is leverage. And we have to learn to leverage what we have. Being American, it comes with some privileges. In some spaces, having money is a privilege in some spaces, and learning how to to navigate that to your advantage where you aren't taking advantage of others, because I'm never on the side of that. I don't want no colonizer energy. I try not. I'm avoiding all colonizer energy, but I do understand where I am. And I understand, like yesterday, okay, this is the last one I'm telling y'all. Yesterday, I went to the mall, and when I tell y'all they got beautiful malls here, oh my God, they got beautiful malls. I'm talking about all the high end stores, Louis Vuitton, Gucci, Dior, everything. So I'm at this mall, right? And I'm just walking through the mall, and I needed to get this stuff I use on my face, Estee Lauder Night Repair, child. I don't know if you're a woman of a particular age and you're trying to preserve, get you some Estee Lauder Night Repair. Well, anyway, I'm out of my Estee Lauder Night Repair. And I know in the US, the big bottle is like 150 bucks. That's a lot of money here. $150, in Chicago, that is no money at all. So I bought it when I was in Chicago. I ran out while I was here. So I'm going to restock my Estee Lauder. So I'm in there, and there's this big, beautiful package. Oh Lord, I wish I had taken a picture of it. Y'all know how at the makeup counter, like if you buy high-end makeup or luxury makeup, they always got the giveaways and stuff. So they had this whole big old basket with all these freebies. So my eyes big as $4 because I'm like, I'm here for the freebies. I am eyeing the products, and the lady spots me, the sales lady spots me, and she already know. I'm sure from how giddy I was looking, she's like, baby, we got a sale. So she rushes over, and she's kind and she's helpful, maybe a little too helpful for my liking, but I can tell me and her in a relationship now. She gonna sell me, and I'm gonna try to get all the gifts I can get. So we in there negotiating. And I'm gonna tell you, she was a keen negotiator, because I felt like I could have got a little bit more. So I wound up, if I bought these two things. I bought this essence of something. It's a toner, it's a serum, it's something. I don't know. But you put it on before you put on. It's like step 3 in your 10-step Korean skincare. Anyway, I bought that, and I'm gonna tell you how much it costs, because that was the kicker. It was like $1,200, 1,200 ringgit, which is just under $300 for the night repair and the big bottle. I should go get it. Let me go get it, because I'm telling y'all, it worked. Let me go get the two products. Y'all talk amongst yourselves, because I need y'all to see it. And then I'm gonna tell y'all how she almost out negotiated me. Hold tight. And y'all know I ain't getting no money from Estee Lauder. Ain't nobody paying me a nickel or a dime. But look, and I'm sure it's probably showing up backwards. But at any rate, if you see this bottle, I don't care how old you are, get you some. My friend was a chemist for Estee Lauder. He used to send me this stuff for free, y'all, back in the day. But anyway, it's good. It's a serum. And so that's what I went in to get. But I wound up, she sold me on this too. Hold tight. It was in focus. Let me see if it'll focus again. Okay. She sold me on this big old bottle of whatever it is. So they were both, this is 150, this is about 150 or whatever it is. I know, for cosmetics. But here's the kicker. When you are spending that kind of money in a place like this, that's leverage. So it came with 9 free gifts. Of course, they're gonna give you 9 free gifts. So me and her in there negotiating the free gifts, because there's this cream, there's another one, a little gold cream. I should have just bought all the freebies. So I know the value of these things. So she's got eye cream, and the cheapies, you don't want this. She got lipstick, cleanser. Don't nobody want that. The cleanser is the cheapest thing that they sell. Them lipsticks and them little perfume samples, ma'am. This ain't my first time at the rodeo. You can put all that foolishness away. I want that gold jar. I want that gold cream. It's called Revitalized Supreme. I want the Supreme. So I did finally get her to give me 3 of those. And then, oh, she gave me some mini size of these. This is the good stuff. So My point is, when you're negotiating, especially when you're paying money, I'm paying cash money, $300. Y'all ain't making these sales all day, every day, honey. You don't have to tell me. I understand. I see. Ain't nobody in here but me and you. Ain't nobody been here all day but me and you. So she's trying not to give away the farm. I'm trying to get everything she got because you know I understand. I recognize that this is a big sale. Y'all work on commission. No, you're friendly because you're friendly, but you friendly because you know you about to make this big sale. You didn't see my eyes light up when I saw the products. So I gave away my hand already. So she and I in there, we back and forth. I'll give you three of these. I was like, no, I don't want that. I'll take three of these. I want three of these. Oh no, I can't give you three. I'll give you two. Okay, take all that other trash up out of here, honey, because I don't want your them horrible color lipsticks. I don't want that. I don't want no facial cleanser. I don't want. She has something else in there. The little perfume samples. Mm-mm, mm-mm. That gold revitalizing supreme is called youth cream or something. When I tell y'all, it's the stuff. It's the stuff. It's the stuff. It's the stuff. So I did wind up getting, girl, look, it's working on my neck. I'm just saying. This 66-year-old neck is working. It's working on this skin. It sure is. And remember, Stephanie did her live. She was like, turn off them filters. Y'all getting it. But you could still see, you when I smile, you could see the wrinkles. They there. You could see them bags. You see all of that. It ain't going away, but it minimizes all of that stuff. Who? I'm telling you that Estee Lauder Night Repair is the truth. I've been using that for a long time. When I tell you it's the truth, it's the truth. So we finally settled on the deal. She got her big sale of the day. I got all the creams and lotions and potions I wanted. I wound up with three of the Supreme things. I wound up with three little minis of this. That was six. And what else did she give me? Oh, I got the eye cream thing. I got two of those. And then she did give me one little trash product. It's a blue bottle. It's a blue cream, the blue night cream. It's not nearly as thick and it's not nearly as good as the one in the gold. You know what I'm talking about. If you all go in there, just ask for the gold. It's revitalizing supreme youth cream. Child, that stuff feel like gold. It feel like, I don't know. It just feel like straight up money. YouTube at time holds some of your chat. However, I changed to show. Oh, I don't know what to do. Marilyn is the expert on all things YouTube, y'all. I don't know. I just be on here talking to my friends. I just be on here sharing all my life because y'all know I can't keep no secrets. We done talked about money. I told y'all about how dirty the apartment was. I'm gonna have to do a for real video on that because I need to show y'all these pictures because I'm not just making it up. And how I had to negotiate with the older lady, just I don't know. Somebody put it in there. We grew up with Saturday morning cleaning. Yes, I did. I grew up where you cleaned up on Saturday morning. Your mama put on some Roberta Flack, some Aretha Franklin. You might have got you some Supremes, some Al Green. Yes. But I also grew up in a time where we respected our elders. And so I was not about to argue with that old lady they kept sending up here, even though she was telling the Bangladeshis what to do. It's like brown people on brown people on brown people. I'm not about to engage like that. So here I'm the brown person telling this brown person who telling these brown people, you know, I didn't like the whole vibe of it. It should have been done before I got here. But I'll share it. I'll share the video with y'all. But it did turn out well. I still have to wind up paying somebody to really professionally clean because I can't live with that dust. It gets in your throat and all of that stuff. So that's a whole nother. We need to do a YouTube after dark where I could really talk. I gotta put something behind. It don't even have to be a paywall, like a membership, a dollar membership or something, where I can really talk because this is open to the world. And I have friends all over the world. I really do. And I would never want to say anything that was offensive to them. And so, I really do try to be careful. But y'all check out that MJ video because MJ laid it out, honey. He called a spade, and he did it in such a beautiful, tactful way. I have the gold Renutriv. Is that an Estee Lauder product, Deborah? If it is, let me know. I will sure check it out and change or check air filter. Yeah, they come in. They did that, Maryland. They came in, but again, they came with them little micro towels. He went up in there and banged around in the ceiling like he was doing something, but I don't buy it. I don't buy it. Okay, it's an Estee Lauder product. I don't buy it. I just rather pay somebody and know for a fact because it's an AC unit in the bedroom too. And I don't want to be breathing in the dust in the dirt. My nose is very sensitive. So I know it's no mold because that I wouldn't have been able to stay here a day if it was some mold in here because that thing locks up my throat. But still the dust of it all. And it gets dusty. Y'all, I'm right above a little like jungle. So, you know, it's gonna be dusty. It's city, it's gonna be dusty. When I open up these windows, some dust is gonna come in, but I don't want to be breathing it in. So I think I'm gonna have to pay somebody to come in here weekly to clean. So it is kind of like Thailand in that way because they're on site cleaners. But y'all, I'm telling you, you want me to tell you who the best cleaner I ever had, the best housekeeping lady. And I guess it's called a housekeeper. I don't know. Somebody said a housekeeper is somebody who lives with you. I don't know. I don't know the distinction. It's a lady, a lovely lady that I paid to come help support me in cleaning the house. Mexico, baby. Rosa would come through there. I never saw anybody clean the way I saw Rosa clean. Rosa take off her shoes. She would roll up her pants. She'd take off that shirt. She'd be in there in a tank top. Rosa cleaned a place, and I swear to God, I think I got spoiled. That place would sparkle, smell good. I would purchase all the cleaning products. She gave me a list of everything she wanted. And baby, you better have her cleaning products right too. I used two of them. I forgot the other lady name, but wasn't nobody cleaner than Rosa. Rosa brought in and so now I'm spoiled because you done came in here and ain't got no cleaning products. I got cleaning products if you want to use them. They were killing me with them moist microfiber towels. I'm like, that is not going to be enough for me. So I don't know. I got spoiled. Okay. I think that's it, y'all. We done. We did 2 hours plus. I told y'all all my business. So let me get my butt up off of here. Hopefully, I'll see some of you in our study session coming up this Wednesday. It's Wednesday for you, 7 o'clock p.m. We meet every second and fourth Wednesday of the month. It's Thursday for me. Yeah, the Mexican cleaning ladies, they set the bar. They can't nobody touch them. I had a cleaning lady in Thailand. Yeah. They were good. They were good. I saw some questionable practices in Thailand, y'all. In the bathroom, you know how they got the little bum gun, the little bidet thing. I saw a lady use that. She was spraying down the whole bathroom. I was like, okay, I'm gonna need to come behind y'all with some bleach. Don't nobody clean like a Mexican lady, baby. And that's on everything I know. But okay, we got to get out of here. I'm gone. Thank y'all for hanging with me. I sure appreciate it because y'all keep me company. Really, you do. And I will see you all back here next Sunday night, same time, same place. If there's anything y'all want me to cover in terms of money, let me know. And I'm glad the stream held up. We didn't have any skipping this week. That's beautiful. Thank you, Mara Love. I'll see y'all next Sunday. Bye, y'all. Marilyn's still posting. Join the community. I love y'all. Bye, Courtney. Bye, Zaza. I'll see y'all next Sunday. If you want me to talk about some money topic, just send me an email. You can email me at invest@fromlack2legacy.com or even from lack2legacy.com. I'm from Lack to Legacy all across all platforms. Email me anything you want me to talk about, research, and we will cover it next time. Later, Gators.